Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the COGNAX Room.
Everyone welcome. Everyone welcome. Everyone welcome to the COGNAX Room. Everyone welcome. Everyone welcome. Everyone welcome to the COGNAX Room.
Welcome back. Ladies, welcome.
Hey, fellas, once again,
Welcome
to the
COGNAX Room. Hey, we got a special guest today. You know,
Yeah.
Dexter Hazel, entrepreneur and owner of COLLABRIO Studios. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, brother, for coming through.
Hey,
You
we
know
want
what I
to
mean?
say, hey, happy birthday to the man.
Happy
too.
birthday.
You know what I'm saying?
Happy
So,
birthday.
I
Yeah.
made it, man. It's hard to make it to 50, brother, no lie.
Yeah.
You know, and I challenge a lot of kids to make it this far, you know, to walk through the cities and be at home on time and, you know, it's like I said, just make it to 50. I challenge you.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
what you think?
Hey, let me ask you that, what parts of life have you walked through now? Give the people a little background as far as, you know what I'm saying, what footsteps of life that you done.
That's a good question, man. I had a teenage mother, you know, so, you know, when you come from a teenage mother, you know, you basically have a trajectory to jail and on death early because you don't have the rearing and stuff like that. You're not really forced to do the homework, and you know, you can be out late, and those right there are the things that kind of put you in that trajectory into a negative path.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the first thing you overcome. Is, you know, when you move from aunt, the grandmother, the uncle, and all of that. So you exposed to all types of verbal abuse and, you know, love that's not real.
Yeah.
When people aren't really raising you correctly. You know, and then you got, you know, the peer pressure after that
Yeah.
with your friends in each neighborhood. 'Cause, you know, I grew up in almost every neighborhood in the city.
Oh,
You can
okay.
see. So yeah, I mean, you know, I can rip and run on that subject. You know,
Yeah.
you know, and then you get the peer pressure. Then you start liking the music, and you want to be fly as a parallel to that, because you know your peers are they got their clothes on, but remember you come from a teenage mother, so you don't have the clothes.
Yeah.
You don't have the things that more stable families have. So what you gonna do? You gonna do criminal and crime. You're gonna be a criminal and do crime, obtain those things to try to blend in and be like your peers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you know, you got 10 years of that foolishness that you wasted your life. So your teens are in trouble. You know, you gotta get through the teenage years, going through the court system and all of that, trying to be cute. You know.
Yeah.
Then you got your early 20s. Then you got your sexual behavior, where you begin to basically do a lot of sexual things that, you know, at risk in a time where you have AIDS and gonorrhea and all of that stuff. You got to survive that.
Yeah.
You know, and-
Definitely.
You know.
Yeah,
Message
definitely.
to your folks.
Yeah, so you know, I definitely know where you coming from. You know, being a fatherless child. You know what I mean, and traveling from, you know, Boston, you know, from the north and coming down here to the south.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, and you know, seeing the change and not having those supports, you know, to help guide you in a certain way. You know what I mean? So I definitely, you know, commend from where you started to where you are now.
Facts.
You know, and I urge, you know what I'm saying, you youngins, man, to like pay close attention to, you know what I'm saying, the OGs out here that aren't, if you notice, they not still doing the same shit they was doing back when they was your age. They the blueprints. You know, we gotta, you know what I'm saying, make that change, you know what I'm saying, within that.
There's nothing wrong with that too. They might look at it in a bad sense, but like a gentleman right here, you know what I'm saying, was saying earlier, it's hard to get to a certain age.
It is.
You know, and you don't think you can't be a dummy to get there. So you have to be smart on certain avenues.
Yeah.
So it's respect to all those, man. You know, and
You know, let me tell you, a lot of times we wish we can go back in time, and change things, but you don't really need to go back in time if you listen to people that's been ahead of you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So if somebody calls you and says, man, what you think of this? No, I'm sorry, change that around. If you're a youngin' and you call somebody for advice and they give you advice, you have to literally take it.
Yeah.
You can't say, well, that's not a good path because it's going to inconvenience your life to take that path, you have to start taking that advice.
Yeah.
You know, that's called life coaching. And life coaching, like if you call a life coach, and a life coach will say, what are you trying to achieve? And if you say, I want a house, I want this, I want this, I want that, right? You say this to a life coach, and the life coach will say, these are your goals. And then he'll say, okay, give me your situation right now. You'll say, I got 2 girlfriends, I live in an apartment, I only make this money, I got this many credits on a college degree, but I didn't finish college, and these things. So what the life coach will do, they'll say, get rid of this girlfriend, move here, move with your parents, get rid of that car, stop hanging around that dude, and do this, right? Now, that life coach just gave you the recipe on how to literally get your goal, but you will only go and do 2 of the things that the life coach told you to do. You see what I'm saying? At that point, you're only going to get halfway to where you're going. So, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of life coaches around you. You're just not taking those, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to, you know, you're getting up when you want to. You late. You going through 2 jobs a year. All of that, you know, and those are the things that make it hard to get to 50. And then I'm also healthy as hell. Like, I have nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I never drink or smoke and all that. You know, I the eat bright part I'm still working on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still, you know.
That's all of us. Yeah.
I gotta come off that sugar, and you know, I love sugar. So in terms of, I think that's my whole thing, like cakes and stuff like that. You know? But you know, going into 2021, I'm gonna try to drop 20 pounds. You know. Yeah, that's my whole
goal.
thing.
I'm on that same goal.
Yeah.
And going back to what you were saying about the life coaching, man. You know, a lot of us. Sometimes know, you know, and listening to what people talk about, right? But it doesn't resonate, you know, with us because, you know, you got, you know, a whole bunch of your homeboys, like you said, with the peer pressure. They coming in, you try to go around because the only way you probably could resonate is talking about it to somebody else, right? So you can hear it. And they like, man, I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, we over here doing this, we over there doing that. But you got to stay strong in a sense to know that, I don't know why I'm trying to share this information with them, but if they don't take it, they don't take it. But this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? This is what I'm doing. I got to put myself there.
Let me tell you, the thing is, I think in our community, black men are really, really believing that the goals they want to achieve are achievable. That's why they don't go hard about it. So if you take this instance where I have a studio, right? 2,000 square feet, I understood that I wanted a facility that would be able to host a show like this. That would be able to host a show like this, and you know, be a place where everybody, I could see the real vision, and I work towards it. I sacrifice a lot of money, a lot of time to have it, right? But some people, they want these things. Like I know a guy, man, I want to build a studio too. He said it and he wanted it, but he ain't spent 1 day looking for a place. He ain't look for one place to get his studio. So a lot of guys be saying what they want, and they can literally make the money, but they don't do the business part of it.
Right.
You know?
Now, when respect to COLLABRIO Studios, you know, and I want to say, you know, thank you too, and people that don't know, far as what down do you hold for them? Far as are you holding people that come in to do, you know, recordings?
Oh yeah.
You know,
I
things
mean,
like
it's
that.
a multifaceted situation. Like I was blessed with a space where I can basically chop it up where you can do this room, which is podcasting, but it also doubles as a food room or a meeting room. I had several meetings in this room where people come in, corporations come in, a small group come in, they sit down and they talk, they have their food and all of that. And then in that big room, that's a 20 by 20 room or something like this. It's pretty big in that room. You can have your band rehearsals, your band recordings, your jazz little things, and small little listening parties, and all types of stuff in that room. Then you got your booth over there. You know, it's just a place where people can literally grow their brand. Oh, you also can do photo shoots in there. You can do your video shoots, your photo shoots, everything in that room. So you know, you can actually chop it up as a movie set too.
Yeah.
So you know, if you want to go and build stuff, build it out like a room, like it's a bedroom.
Yeah.
And because I want an audio setup where you can do your audio to go with your acting and stuff like that. So if you think about like how Tyler Perry and all these people, they have one room and they'll change it around.
Exactly.
So you can have a bedroom scene, you can have a living room scene, you can have a this scene. You know, that room literally can facilitate that because you have the height.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To do all those things in terms of cameras and everything.
Okay.
And you know, and it's a blessing to be able to, you know, have that as a part of my legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You know, how did the idea for you come about, like even wanting to open up a studio?
Well,
or, you know, having this space.
You know, that's a good question. You know, I think that because black people are just musical. All people are musical, you know, but because that's normally been the route into a fortune for us. Like we have, you know, in our community, we have different ways to basically prosper. And one of the main ways that we prosper as a community is through entertainment. And our entertainment route basically takes us into clothing, which then takes us into acting. You know what I'm saying? Or it's music, clothing, acting, music, clothing, real estate. You know what I'm saying? All of these things are almost always tied into some type of form of entertainment. It's like what you're doing. You're in the media. And if this is successful in terms of starting to get bigger brands in here, it'll basically put you in a position where you can grow. And so here we are, you know, together doing an avenue. And so for me, I'm a singer.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I'm a singer from when I was young. I've been in a couple of groups, you know, and now I'm a producer.
Gotcha.
And now I'm a manager. I have 2 groups, you know, a rapper, he's a hell of a rapper named Ricky Bobby, and I got a neo soul group called Artistry.
Okay.
And I still, you know, about to release my own jazz project.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So it started out as something for me. But because it's so much space, and we got bills to pay, you know, I gotta pay the bills like a few $1,000s a month.
Yeah.
You know, I have to, you know, definitely make sure everybody else can be here, and then, you know, I mean, yeah. So that's where it started from. It started from me being an artist, having an interest in music and stuff like that. Some people go play golf.
Yeah.
Some people do their bowling teams on the weekends.
Right.
Some people always at the skating ring on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Right.
You know, some people go putt-putt golfing. That's their thing. And for us, it's media.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, now that I'm, you know what I'm saying, that I heard a little bit, you know what I'm saying, you multitask and things like that, you know what I'm saying, you're talented in different areas. Now, what did you, when you say singer, when did you actually like start singing? Like, far as you started young?
Yeah,
early?
man. And I'm not young, like, you know, like in my 20s. I used to own a little barbershop, man.
So nothing like Michael Jackson, nothing really like that?
No, like that. I was still, you know, in my 20s, and a buddy of mine named Aaron Flavor, he was doing his thing. He wanted me to join, and he already had his thing already going.
Okay.
So I dipped and dabbed in that for about a year or 2. You know, we did a couple of local little spots and stuff like that. And I didn't know I could write. I didn't know I could make music and stuff like that. I was just a singer.
Yeah.
And you know, if the group is not successful, once you get that bug, it's just like playing the lottery. If you go play the lottery and you hit, you always win.
Yeah, you go back.
You know what I'm saying? If you do anything and you become successful, you begin to believe that you can be good at it. And so for me, when we had people coming to the show and they were saying, "Dexter, you can really sing," you get that bug.
Yeah.
And from there on, you start exploring other avenues of what that could be. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, automatically, it's never for the money. Even though you're spending a lot of money on it, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, then you start looking at everybody else that you used to love, and you say, damn, I could probably be this guy I always love to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I like Luther, if I like Donny Hathaway, I could probably, you know, eclipse his fame doing the same thing. And then you can say, wait a minute, damn, maybe that's why I liked him, because I was a singer too, you know? You start making these connections coming up and stuff like that, and then people start giving you this credit for doing such a great thing. But you know, doing things like that. But but once you go into fatherhood and raising kids, and you lose a lot of years and stuff to doing things that are more important.
Yeah,
you know,
it changes the
because
narrative.
because this is a hobby.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a hobby, and I mean, I do not encourage anyone to sacrifice the probability of family and other responsibilities for music, because it's a gamble to be successful.
Yes, it is.
You know?
Yeah, they say like 1 in a million.
It's probably more than that. And now in our day and age with the gram and the Twitter and TikTok and everything, like you're literally in competition with all of those people.
Yes.
So how do you become successful? So, you know, for all these people that's going into their 30s and 35s and they haven't started on their families yet, like you gotta get started. You know what I'm saying? Like, do not let music trick you out your life.
Exactly.
You have to go ahead and jump out there and do something. At least, you know, try to figure out how that can work in parallel to each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know I can count 20 people that probably wish they had kids, but they literally
they ran out of time.
No, because you never know about time. You never know what God has for you, but you know they're making conscious decisions not to really do what's really intended for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's you know that's God's plan. I mean God's way. You know, including the, according to the Bible.
Right.
You know, which is what something I
bless us.
So, who inspired you, or when you was coming up to become a singer, or was that just something that naturally came to you?
No.
Like that you noticed one day just singing in the shower or something?
No, so Donny Hathaway is my favorite.
Okay.
And then Stevie Wonder is my second, obviously Michael Jackson, then Prince. You know what I'm saying? And then, then you come into the newer people like Eric Benet, Music Soul Child, the Neo Soul. You start to understand genre. You start to understand who basically is more in like the tunes that you're hearing. Like Chris Brown and them, they're the younger crowd. Chris Brown and his whole genre, the Neos and all of them, they kind of grew on me because even though they can sing their music, but for me it wasn't pure R&B. It wasn't the original R&B. It's more of a
had like a hip hop.
It's a pop. It's a pop R&B.
Right. Pop R&B.
It's pop R&B. It's not.
It's like Bobby
really,
Brown feel like they had like the R&B and then I think you said.
Right. It's levels to it. Even though they're all on the same level, they're making the same money. The feel of it is different. You're not really making babies off of you ain't making babies off Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? You ain't making, but you are off of Donny. You are off of Peabo Bryson and Luther Vandross and stuff like that. So you got the real original pure R&B, the Smokey Robinson, that old school.
Right.
And I actually was after that too. But you still draw from that. From the way they wrote and stuff like that. And then, you come on into the Chris Browns because you understand how to try to make it modern in terms of production and making music, making beats and stuff like that. And then here come a new generation where it's more of a trap R&B. So now it's all pop. Like totally I think like the whole genre of R&B is just gone. Like it's either Neo Soul with Jill Scott and the crew, or it's pop. That's it. It's not R&B no more.
No, it totally changed. Yeah, because you might not know if it's R&B or the rap flavor, certain ways that they blend in certain artists and things like that. So I can understand.
It's like they kind of like took, pieces of all these different genres and just threw them in one mixing bowl.
I do like that the new kids. They are bringing back, they are going back in time because at first it wasn't, it was a saying, I never remember who said it, but they said that the new school need to bring the old school with them. They need to bring it with them. They need to sample and chop up and, and mix with the old stuff and bring it in time with us. You know what I'm saying? And they're doing it more, I'm giving them a lot of credit for the Black Lives Matter movement. They, at first they wasn't about that. But Trump basically energized us to really do that because we was dormant for a long time. Like in the Obama years, I believe, it wasn't a whole lot of black politics. It wasn't a whole lot of black activism.
And that's
right. But now, like them youngins, they downtown, they all over the country, all over the world. They really marching and getting it out there. They it's like the 60s and the 70s. They
doing that footwork now.
They doing it.
They step forward.
They step forward. I'm proud of them for that.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Because they was dormant for a long time. Because there wasn't really nothing to argue about, really. Besides the occasional police killings and stuff. Of course, that's always there.
That's what I was about to say. That's always been there.
Always there. But they wasn't marching.
Turner.
But they wasn't marching after that. They were marching in one little neighborhood because of that. But now, like collectively, it's like they online, like, y'all ready to go in another state, They already networked this, right?
And
then you got all the positive amazing white people that's, you know, really helping out in the struggle. You ought to give credit to them.
Behind the scenes too. People don't realize.
Yeah, it's a lot going on behind the scenes, definitely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, to make that movement. Because, you know, me and him was having a conversation, I think, last night or earlier today, where we was looking at the different neighborhoods, and we was like, he mentioned, he was like, Dad, the Latinos, everywhere you ride now, all you see is, you know, like their restaurants, stuff like that. And I had made the comment that
They're very industrious.
they learned how, you know, other ethnicities keep that money circulating within their, you know, their community. And, you know, black people at one point in time used to have that. But now it seems like that's not, you know, we don't support each other on that level.
Let me tell you, that's deep. Let me tell you. So, one thing you gotta remember that those people are poor too. And they came here because of their poor. And they came here with the grind. They are very industrious people. If they see that they can do it, they doing that shit. So they came here and they keep their money together. They don't buy from white people. You don't see them with white. They don't see them in Georgetown and all of that shit.
Hell, a lot of the stuff that they, you know, that you purchase come from a lot of their countries anyway.
Exactly. They're not buying from white people.
The fruits.
All of that stuff. Yeah, they keep their whole. The Africans do that too.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it's not a detriment to us that we patronize white people, because in the end, like, white people still the only people that hire us.
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
think about
yeah.
that. Like, we can't get a job from a Hispanic man, you know, but the Hispanic man can get a job from us. But if you go to any landscaping company, any construction company, there's not a black man on them sites, because I'm the one that's out there with them. I know the difference. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not calling them racist, but they are all about trying to empower their people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna pull one up.
Right, you know, you know, and so, I mean, you know, I think that, like, for instance, I'm in construction, you know, as a primary function, and there are no kids under me that's doing construction. Like, they don't know how to operate the machines at all. They don't know how to operate bobcats, backhoes. They don't know how to lay concrete, lay bricks. They're not doing nothing to basically be ready when I retire. They're all the technology and music and stuff like that, but they need to get out in the streets, you know, and learn and get these trades, man. Stop playing.
You know, trade actually saved me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like, for years, man, you know, I used to do that, you know, that dumb stuff, you know, be out in the streets, you know, act a little wild. But, you know, I had certain people in my life that I actually started to resonate what they was talking about after going through certain things, you know what I mean? And, you know, so I jumped into, like, you know, HVAC, you know, and stuff like that. And then I pushed that on to the youngest too, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people around me, I be like, man, go get a trade. You know, I said, that is the one market, that is the one, you know, section of schooling or information that everyone ignores. Man, I don't want to be no maintenance man.
And electric, and
I don't want to be this. But it's like, and
that's when no one else is really there. Like,
but see, that's another thing. Like, when we mention that, they don't look at it because, as a kid, I ain't gonna lie, I used to ride down and be in the back seat, and I see, you know what I'm saying, like, the brothers, you know what I'm saying, laying the pavement, you know what I'm saying, driving. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, man, that look all right, you know what I'm saying? Even though the smoke was out there and stuff like that, but I'm like, all right, but now when you don't see it, it's totally switched. So I was like, dang, you know, they don't see that. So like you say, they might just see straight music, but then you don't see the plumber right there. You don't see who built the studio. Right. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who built the studio, man. Put this so you don't see certain things.
They just see the smoke screen.
Call it exposure.
You know,
it's all about what you're exposed to visually in your community, you know, and even at those times they're looking at TV, they're not looking at it. I was having a conversation with this kid the other day, and I was talking to him about how cartoons is teaching you how to cuss and lie and stuff like that. No, you don't. Put the cartoon on. I said, what did he say? He's like, wow. So, you know, he began to understand the subliminal messages in the cartoons and in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. And what you try to do is basically make the kids conscious sooner, so they can be a part of the solution.
Exactly.
If you take them to their 30s to become conscious, you know what I'm saying? And they're not teaching youngest before them. They just living and then making a mistake, and then they want to be conscious. You know what I'm saying? You're not really catching the youngins early under you. because they're not gonna listen to me. I'm too old for them. But the middle youngers in the 20s and 30s is who they supposed to listen to. But they wait too long to become conscious to give the youngest the lesson. And that's how we keep falling behind. You see what I'm saying? So I try to take the opportunity to really, like child style and dumb down and really give them the ABCs of it. Even though the younger be like, I can do this, and they got an attitude. I just really sit there and pick with them, and I had to take the time to really go through the basic steps with these young men that are smart and grown, but they don't see it, and they just and that's the problem with us as a group of black men. We just too goddamn hard-headed. We just too damn hard-headed.
You know, and someone told me not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? We sometimes get too arrogant. You know what I mean? And we don't listen. Oh man, I got it. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm straight. You know, don't worry about it. But you know, you don't want to hear that. You know, but not to change to switch up the subject, because that, you know, just going back to the music really quick, right? Have you ever played like in bands, or you know, like?
So I play drums. Almost expert level. I play the bass pretty good, and you know I sing and stuff like that. And you know I'm probably about to be a member of the Grammys. You know, a voting member. I was about to be signed up for it, but Corona hit early this year. I almost had my membership for that. So I really want to basically land that and basically try to influence that whole thing and use that accolade to basically help a lot of our artists in this area, as well as myself and in the neo soul genre. So this studio is not about just making music and making beats for everybody else. It's about my legacy. It's about helping and creating somebody. You know, so my great grandkids can say, "Damn, he did this and that." Because right now I can't look at none of my photo albums and see none of my people be great in terms of my bloodline. Like my personal bloodline, I don't have no one in my bloodline that's done anything outside of raise or this or that. You know, so you try to become that visual thing that can be seen. If so if you fast forward to 2050 or something, we all gone, or 50 or 60 or whatever, we gone. We want somebody to look in there and say, my Uncle Dex did this, did that, and he got this music, and he did this. Like, I want them to be able to collectively see, that I was a Grammy member. I was this, I was that. I'm putting in the work. There's interviews like this that's posted on YouTube, it's posted on the ground, and y'all too. Like, think about your grandkids that's gonna see this interview and all the other ones y'all do when I do. And they're gonna understand that we was really striving. We wasn't locked up. You know what I'm saying? We ain't on parole, probation. We all about black excellence. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what that's all about. In terms of you asking me that question, it's about lights, camera, action, and then taking that accolades and that music and then growing it into apartment buildings and different real estate all over the country. You know what I'm saying?
Growing, you got water.
Because remember I was saying earlier, this is how we come through. The banks ain't giving you no money. We can't save 50, 60,000. Because we don't have the industry, or we don't have the time in a year to really get that far. You know what I'm saying?
Well, even the infrastructure, like, they even, we spoke on one of our shows about controlling the narrative. And, a lot of us kids, well, a lot of us men, and I know I'm one of them now, but you know what I'm saying, I've always, I think, since coming up, I've always had that sense of direction where I would even talk to like my siblings and be like, nah man, we gotta go to college. Well, we gotta do this, bro. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make a move. And other friends, but a lot of people don't have that.
No, they don't.
And
a lot of people don't believe in college because we still can't get a job after college. But what they don't understand is that it's still an esteem. It's a part of legacy. You know what I'm saying? It's you can go be rich without college, and that's cool. But
it's true.
College also forms you into a businessman. It forms you. It forms your tongue. It forms your professionalism. It forms your astute, your acute. It does a lot of things that you can use. Even if you come out with a certificate and you don't use it, you still get a amount of respect from other people because you did this. You know what I'm saying? And then again, you still can you know, it can still be something that others draw from.
What are some of the people that you work with? What are some of the names of some of the greats that you work with? Anybody as far as in the area or like different states and things like that?
It's an area thing for now. So I've had a lot of big people come here and use the room, use that big room to do their video shows and stuff like that. People from New York and people from New Jersey. We had Lamborghinis and Porsches and all of that outside. But when they come, I don't really brown nose and cut into them to understand who they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I know that there are different people who have 2, 3, 4 million followers on the gram and stuff like that. Like I'm rubbing elbows with them, but I'm just not the type of person to be like, hey, you know. But I've recorded a lot of big people here, but they're still local. You know, people like Just Paul, he's a pretty big deal in DC. A lot of go-go legends that I've been through. I've rehearsed them on that side. And Kim Waters, she's a local jazz legend. My cousin, Yusef Chisholm. I've had a whole lot of big-time local legends here. And if you was somewhere else, you would say that, like if you was in their genre, like I've had a lot of jazz people. So let's just say you was from Memphis and you knew Yusef Chisholm or Kim Waters from DC. They would say, wow, you know them, but they are big here, and I've recorded them and rehearsed them. You know, and that's the reason why I'm considered to be a Grammy board member, a voting member, because of the people that I have had. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of the younger rap crew, the rap youngers and stuff like that, you know, they don't really come here that much because I'm not a smoking environment. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the rappers, they want to go to where you can smoke at. Like that's the whole culture of that. Like, and so because I'm more of a singing type of studio, I don't let smoke. I don't let, you know, rappers don't come here. So you'll get the singers and the instrumentalists here. You know what I'm saying? So the rappers, they go to the other spots out in Fort Washington or some other places on. Because like I said, they can smoke and just, you know.
Get to their little vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe for them. Like, but you know what? That's a good thing because guess what? They're not in trouble. You know, they go, they sit and they smoke and they rap and they go home. You know what I'm saying? So studios become a place like the court. Or the basketball court or stuff like that. Studios,
or the barbershop.
Or the barbershop. Studios is a place of safehood. And you know, kids, you know, are not, because if studios didn't become a place where you can buy a simple mixer in a booth and stuff like that, I think a lot of other kids will be in trouble. You know, and what's weird is a lot of kids aren't really focusing on the marketing. They'll post something on the gram and that's it for them. But like I said, at least they're not getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
And it's amazing what you young guys are doing out there, you know. When I look on the gram, you know what I'm saying? Like the stuff they posting and the time and effort that y'all putting in, keep up that work, man. Keep that work up. You know what I'm saying? That's real. You know, that's real. It's live. But you know, on your journey, you know, with music and things of that nature, right? What was like one of your defining moments for you that, you know what I mean, you realized and said, this is what I'm definitely going to do?
I think it's basically trying to match somebody else's intensity in terms of professionalism in music. So I haven't reached the pinnacle or the level that I want to reach as an artist or have came across the people that I want to. So that question is pending. The answer to that question is pending. But
That's
when you understand that, you wanna basically create with Jamie Foxx. You know, like you wanna sing with this artist. You wanna be in a room with Stevie Wonder, or just different people you want to basically touch with musically, vocally, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That there lies your mission personally. Personally, I want to do these things musically. You know what I'm saying? Personally, you want to drive to this and drive a race car and this and that. Personally, you want to do this. Personally, I want to, you know, make songs with this artist, that artist. And so the journey to that is releasing my own music, you know, getting the followers and stuff that the industry say I gotta have, but you gotta do what they doing. So I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no, you know, you gotta invest traveling, getting into the Grammys. You get the invites from the Grammys. You go and meet those guys. You know, they don't know you the first time you meet them, but the second time they remember you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you go to an Essence Festival or you go down to another festival. You're there performing. Your group is performing. You see them again. So you become somebody that they visually see and they recognize. And before you know it, one day you get the invite to be in their space. You know what I'm saying? But it's because you're doing the work too. It's not because you're following behind them. It's because I'm there because I'm performing. I'm there because my band is performing. You see what I'm saying? So I'm doing the work. And you also, but that's what I'm saying, a lot of the kids, they're not doing that type of work to be next to, and they don't even want to pay for the collaborations. You see what I'm saying? That's another thing. Like, you have to pay to play. You have to spend the money to get the rub elbows with these guys. Stop going in and out of studios, releasing a new song every week when you don't spend the money in the marketing and the collaboration for the one song that you already got the hit for.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you talking to a lot of these kids, they got 40, 50 songs because they just keep going to the studio and record, but they don't want to spend the money for the collaboration. Spend the $5 grand for the collaboration, make the video, and jump.
I got one for you. I like that, and I respect that because that's a lot. That's a big note. Because I was just going to ask you, with you being inspired by legends, greats, things like that. Who would you think that you might want to collab with? If that's
I would love to collab with Walter. I mean, BEAT BENNETT, Kenny Lattimore. People in my genre, in my age group. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be rolling around with these young kids and shit. You know
that's what I'm saying.
You know, I mean, you got the Tamias, you got the amazing great people in my genres in the 40s and the early 50s and the 30s, the late 30s. You know what I'm saying? It's, I mean, like, I'll spend an hour on names. Like,
don't get it twisted. Now, do you produce too?
Yeah.
Okay, so they might say, like you said, different. Yeah, okay.
Man, I got over 300 or 400 songs, man. Produced, ready to go, and you know, I got my own group, and I'm helping them bring out their sound, and you know, giving them a couple of my tunes so they can, you know, come together collectively as a group, and then I can step away and let them start forming their own sound because we're all old. My group is also an older group. You know what I'm saying? It's a live group. It's a live band type of group, and you know the way I'm trying to form them, the hurry and get ready to hit these festivals. We're not trying to end up on 8th Street and all these other streets over and over and over. Like, you know, soon next spring we out of here. Like, our sound will be done, my sound will be done, and we catching these festivals. And we you know what I'm saying? So we gonna be promoting like that, and then if we come across somebody, you know, DMing the managers of those groups. So you got groups that we like, we want to DM, hey, where you perform at? Can we perform with y'all for free? You know what I'm saying? Can we open up for y'all? You know what I'm saying? Where y'all at? The booking agents, the tour managers. Create a product, reach out to the booking managers, reach out to the booking agents, and book and play for free. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's a good lesson. You need to let that resonate for a minute. Whoever's into music or whatever you do, because you can take that information and utilize it everywhere in your life. That's
everywhere, every genre, exactly. You know, but I just don't recommend that these kids just keep going in the studio, releasing stuff on the gram to be popular. You know, it's cool to be popular because you need popularity to basically grow, but you also got to go ahead and get your butt out there. You got to get on the road. You got to get on the road. Come out of these studios, make these real videos. Stop sitting on your porch pointing guns at each other and all of that.
I never got that.
That's careful too.
You know, be careful what you promote.
Put some creativity in your. Put some creativity into what you're saying. You know, write something creative, and video it in that same creative light. You know, stop saying all this clever stuff and then sitting on one porch in one scene. Who does that? You know, be creative. Be an artist. Don't be a rapper. Be an artist.
Be an artist. And that's how, you know, me being an artist, you know, I used to say that a long time ago. I used to be like, man, I want to be a rapper. And, you know, the more and more that I got into it, and you know, and it became a part of me. Well, I actually brought what was a part of me already. Just got to bring that out. I started noticing, like, my lyricism, you know, it took off in its own direction. Like I didn't have a cap on no more. You know, it's like that head opened up, and you know, I went by many names before, you know, finding who I am today.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it brought me back around to who I am, because I started off like this man know, and, you know, as you know, Cool D, this and that, Trilogy, all kinds of names. But then I realized, I said, people around me, they have to stay in a box with some of they, you know, titles they name themselves. You know?
They can't coexist because you know, I mean, your number one consumption of your music is white people.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of, you know, expand a little bit. You want to keep it true, and walking that line of real and commercial is real thin.
Yeah, it is.
You know, but you can do it. But I think that if you video it right, you can pull it off.
Pull it off.
You know? You got to
Yeah.
video it right, and you know, I mean, videos. Your guy, he has all the videos in the world. Y'all got your own production team, and I do too. You know, you just got to, and that's the whole thing about the prices of everything and Amazon and stuff. Everything is so affordable.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can make your own everything. But the main way you get out there is you got to get collabed up with a beautiful girl or a guy, a white man, a white guy. It don't matter, but just be creative with that vision.
Right.
Be at these bus stops, walking it out of the subway station. You know, go rent a helicopter from Uber. Do something creative, you know?
Right.
Sit on the park, get on a boat. You know what I'm saying? Climb up a tree. Be creative with your music, and people will literally start following you more because you're doing so creative stuff. Just sitting on the car pointing guns. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, who does that?
Right. Now, you know, when you decide to take your group on the road, you know, the Artistry Band, y'all go out on the road and stuff. You know, what do you like? What is the band's message? Do y'all like have a message to get across, or you know, you all just vibe out? Like,
right, yeah, that's a good question. So also don't forget about my rapper Ricky Bobby. He's also a person who writes and raps on a different level. He's not about the violence and all stuff. And everything he do. That's why I decided to really get behind him, because he's a clever writer and stuff like that. But back to your question, so neo-soul in that genre is not really about the scripted writing.
Okay.
Neo-soul is about a table, a chair, a tree, a light, a mother, a dog. You know, you don't have the complete sentences in neo. It's eclectic music.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so it's deriving from jazz. And if you listen to jazz will do like this, and it'll change gear, and it'll go up and stuff like that. You don't have to have the same thing all the way through. And it's a huge following in that. And so, and the most festivals out there are jazz and neo soul festivals.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no rock festivals. There's no go-go festivals. There's no R&B festivals. It's actually jazz festivals. And that's the genre we're in. Because we walk that line. We walk that line of neo soul and jazz. So we have a high probability of success. And in our community, it's so many people in our community, at our age group, that plays real music. We're not sitting behind the Fruity Loops and stuff, even though you produce it and you produce, but when you go to play it, you playing real band, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And another thing, you don't have to worry about the violence in jazz and neo soul, like in terms of congregation and stuff like that. It's for grown people. You know, and even though young people buy and consume music more, still neo soul and jazz last longer.
It does. It does what they say, outlive.
Right.
You know, a lot of other, like even to this day, you know, radios play like, you know, certain music, certain R&B, certain rap, but when you listening to even hip hop or listening to R&B, you still hear nothing but you hear the jazz.
Yeah, you hear the jazz.
A lot of them guys sample from jazz.
It's the chorus, exactly. So, you know, so we can if we're able to chart and drop a single and chart and put that real money behind it and put the video behind it and, you know, and chart it and then go on, you know, open up for a couple people from that song, and then it charts, you can literally eat off that one song for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
like Marvin Gaye's and, you know, people, I know.
Jill Scott and all them, if you go see Jill Scott and any of the Neo Soul greats, Eric Badu and all them, they're literally singing the same songs from the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just seen something on Jill Scott the other day on Instagram, and she was singing one of her hits that you know, I can't sing like her, but you know, like that Jill, that Jills.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
If you go there, see them, you definitely go to hear that song. Right. You know?
Now you incorporate your artists with that jazz music?
Yeah, it's a jazz neo thing. Exactly. That's what we are. And forget, I'm a single artist too, in parallel to them. So I'm gonna put my own little 3-piece band together. I might perform with them sometimes. Sometimes I might do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I got my own path too. You know, I'm not about to be behind them and then they just fall off, and I wasted all this time. Because groups are very, volatile. Sometimes the group members, not my group now, but sometimes group members, they're not serious, or they might have family problems and issues where some of the main characters fall off because they got family things, and it'll break up the whole band, because when you put a band together, they need each other to function.
Exactly, right.
You see what I'm saying?
The family wants to
the drummer falls off, and the board don't want to come, you know, the singers can't perform, so now the band is stagnant, so I gotta make sure I got my own thing going too, you know, cause you know, so it's a fine line to walk me with them and my rapper as well. Yeah. But you know, because I had a studio now, is the time to really get behind my music, because if I decide to close or my lease ends or whatever, you know, I want to have as much music done as possible. Right. You know what I'm saying? With this time that I'm open, you know, and I feel that I'm kind of behind. You know, I've been here for like 2 years. I should have got a lot of things done my first year. So I hope I'm blessed with at least another year here. Yeah. You know, I'm looking for my own building to buy, you know what I'm saying, or at least to own or whatever.
Space.
Yeah, you know, at least to own, you know, and then probably have another room like this big room, because right now it's gutted out where you have your little gatherings for family and friends and parties. But this room is primarily for band. Yeah. And if you notice, all the band stuff ain't in there. Yeah. It's next door, because I got to gut it. So I want a bigger space where I can have a band room and I never had to break it down. Right. So I got a band room, then I got a big open room, and then I got a room like this. So you want a building where you can put your walls up and have different things going on at the same time. It's more like a real media center. So you can be in here doing y'all thing, and then they can be able to do their thing and their thing, you know, and everybody is getting their media, you know, needs met. Right. But you know, that's, you know, it's just all about legacy, and you know, to answer your question, finish your question, you know, vibing off neo soul. It's that dual tone soul. It's all about chords and bass. You know, that's kind of what runs jazz and R&B. I mean, not jazz and neo soul. It's that Jill Scott, Layla Hathaway type of feel, you know. Snarky Puppies. I know y'all. I can name some people y'all probably won't know. Snarky Puppy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but
as far as your personal projects that you have going on for yourself, you know, is there like a place that we can go and hear some of that stuff right now?
Actually,
or is it still in the cut?
No. I got some old stuff on number1music.com/Dexter Hazel. Okay. I got stuff I produced back in 2014, and it's pretty good. But I just never felt that it was still ready to be produced. So and even vocally, like, I just, you know, always want, you know, when you see your idols sing, and you hear them sing, you just be like, damn it, I gotta go do it again. Right. You know what I'm saying?
You want to master your,
you want to master it, but then one day you have an epiphany, and this is what happened to me. You realize that everybody has a spot on the playlist. So, you know, my voice don't have to be as strong or as robotic as everyone else. You know, just release the sound, and if you release the sound to 100 people, if 20 people like it, that's good. That's a good number. Yeah. It's better than no one liking it. Exactly. And I got a lot of stuff, and it's up. And let me tell you, I released this stuff in 14. I'm getting emails still every day. Maybe 10 emails every day. Please, where can I buy your music? Right. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until this year. This year, I was like, man, let me get back into my own music. So I literally started recording. I let Warner hear some stuff. He really liked it. Everybody that come through, I let hear. I'll let y'all hear before you leave. And you know, so I just made a decision that I'm gonna do me before I close this place.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to go ahead and release a couple of singles. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and start releasing a single on the gram every month or every 2 weeks. Cause I got that much music. Just a picture with some music and say, hey y'all, check it out. Tell me what you think. You know, go copy it. Drop a put $1 on it on Spotify, and just build the followers up to about 5,000 or 6,000 followers that way. And then go ahead and hopefully by the spring I'll be ready to gig myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm gonna do the same thing I'm doing for them, for me.
Yeah.
Cause I know I do have the talent. I have the voice. I can do it. You know, I ain't no ugly dude. I ain't bent on. You know what I'm saying?
And tell them again how they can find you. Tell them to do what they do.
Yeah, number
IG.
It's Dexter_Hazel. And then you got my music. My old music is number1music.com/Dexter Hazel. Yeah. So. Yep.
Yeah, man. So, man, we appreciate you coming through, man, and allowing us to be here. And it was a blessed talking to you. And, you know, definitely, man, we got to chop it up some more.
Yeah, definitely, man.
You know
Y'all can have the space, man. Come through. I remember when y'all first started, I was like, man, let me make sure I extend the house to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So just come through, man, and just set up. And continue to empower other people and build your own brand, you know, until one day you land that interview with that big person that puts you on the Breakfast Club level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On the swag level.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can start making money through endorsements and commercials and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, and then before you know it, you're using that exact platform to start to basically bounce your brand off, because your name is so big from this platform that your music, you know, because you're a star from the platform.
Yeah.
And now you're starting from the platform, people going to listen to your music from this platform.
Right.
And that's the whole thing. We always have to use a platform. But y'all have, you know, you're definitely great interviewers. And I like your style, you know, and I think that, you know, I'm going to definitely send some people y'all way to be interviewed, you know, on your show.
Appreciate
definitely.
that.
I can send you 10 people right now with 20, 30,000 followers.
Yeah.
Definitely, and if their followers know they're going to be here, those followers will also begin to follow you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And it is all about the love, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Showing each other that support. You know what I'm saying? Not only in the city, but you know, just being a collective of music and artists. Period. You know what I mean? So you know, once again, D SPELLER.
CML.
You know what I'm saying? You know, our guest Dexter Hazel. You know, catch y'all on the flip side.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the COGNAX Room. Everyone welcome. Everyone welcome. Everyone welcome to the COGNAX Room. Everyone welcome. Everyone welcome. Everyone welcome to the COGNAX Room. Everyone welcome. Everyone welcome. Everyone welcome to the COGNAX Room. You know what I mean? D SPELLER, baby. Welcome to the COGNAX Room. When all my ladies gather around and my fellas, listen up. If you smoke like you split, if you drink, grab your cup. We gonna party all night until that sun come up. And lift your little money like I do, brother. Throw them hands up. From Cali to Arkansas, Florida, back to Utah, Boston, Connecticut, DC, back to Crenshaw, New York, New Jersey, and Chicago. Both the Carolinas, Jamaicans, folks out in Lagos. Hit the subscribe button, like and stay tuned. Ladies, welcome fellas once again to the COGNAX Room. Everyone welcome. Everyone welcome.